We'll take media and pop culture and dissect meanings and messages behind them. Today, we will be talking about Season 1 of Donald Glover's show, Atlanta, mainly on how Glover uses absurd situations, stereotypical characters, and a little bit of randomness within each character's life to highlight the inanity of these everyday expectations for people, and how these situations either legitimize or destabilize stereotypes the characters represent.
The show Atlanta is very unique in that it authentically presents the city it is based in and brings a sense of home and community. The people the characters interact with are depicted as the everyday people. However, it is salient in that creator Donald Glover includes situations where the stereotypes of these everyday people are satirized, but surprisingly without showing any bias.
Well, to join us in our discussion, we have special guest Tammy Moore, writer of the novel Black Privilege.
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be here with y'all.
Hey Tammy, we're happy that you're here with us as well. Now, are you familiar with the show Atlanta?
Yes, I'm super familiar with Atlanta, and I'm ready to dive into this discussion.
Awesome.
Now we know that the characters are tied to a stereotype of a black male or female in Atlanta. Since each stereotype is pretty obvious, we are going to discuss whether or not they prolong the use of stereotypes or if they work against them. Let's start with the stars of the show, Earn, played by the creator Donald Glover and his cousin Albert, aka Paperboy.
Okay, so both characters represent a degrading black male stigma. Earn, he's basically the homeless, unemployed young black man who has been incarcerated and has dropped out of Princeton. On the other hand, we have Paperboy. He is the rapper type. The stereotypical menacing big black guy who sells drugs, has been accused of killing a man, has been to jail multiple times, and raps about his life in the hood.
I think that in using these stereotypes, Glover is able to show how these stigmas serve in both legitimize and destabilize the general black stereotypes that have been preserved throughout our history.
Well, to me, Earn definitely legitimizes the stereotype more than destabilizes it. I mean, I'd even say that he doesn't destabilize it. Earn was everything that Glover made him out to be, but with maybe a little bit more skill. I think that what everyone is failing to realize is that maybe these stereotypes are real for a reason. Some black men suck, as do any other race, and Glover's showing that to us. I mean, the guy couldn't even afford a whole meal.
I see your point. While Earn's role epitomizes the lazy, deadbeat father or partner, Paperboy's role could possibly be used to destabilize the rapper stereotype. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but I think he definitely stigmatizes the rapper, but he doesn't really want to be that person. Throughout the season, we hear him try to prove that he's not that person. Like in episode 2, where he's talking to those children who are pretending to be him, he tells them playing with guns is not okay. Or in episode 5, where he's trying to get the reporter's attention, he keeps apologizing for his behavior.
Hey, look, I just want to apologize to people, for how I was acting. I think they got the wrong idea.
I have been thinking, and it seems like the difference between these characters is that Paperboy has been given set expectations by the society. They want him to be the person that he really is not, while Earn essentially fits the stereotype that society places in him. Both characters are molded by these expectations, but Paperboy is more conflicted about them than Earn is.
Well, I mean, it sounds like what you're trying to say, but you're not saying, is that black privilege is the reason why these guys can give Paperboy the benefit of the doubt. I mean, we really baby the black race so much, but it's clear he's a grown man. He makes his own decision, and if he's living out this stigma, it's because he wants to.
Well, I mean, I think that even if Alfred tried to stray away from the rapper stereotype, the expectations from the society is so great that he has no choice but to continue to be who everyone else already think he is.
Earn, on the other hand, seems to be really complacent with his stereotype.
Are you kidding me? I'm the stereotype?
Mm-hmm.
Well, your ass, you can't even take care of your own goddamn kid?
I'm fine being a stereotype. It's working out great for me.
So you guys are trying to say Earn and Paperboy are pretty good representations of their stereotype, like I just said. But maybe like your difference is that some aspects just don't hold true to their stigmas?
Precisely. Is it alright if I shift the focus from our stars to our auxiliary characters? I know they're just as important, but I really want to talk about the purpose of Van and Darius along these lines.
Yeah. So like, how many of you guys have pothead friends like Darius?
That might not be an appropriate question, but I like where you're going, so let's talk about Darius.
Yeah, he was a very strange character, I might say. It was like the most absurd intelligence.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, moving on to Van. She, at times, has been labeled as the Sapphire or the quote-unquote angry black woman by the people closest to her.
In the beginning, we see that Van is a typical unmarried black woman who has a daughter and works as a school's teacher. She constantly shows her frustration at Ern's inability to earn a stable income in order to support their supposed family. I mean, Ern only earned $5.15 working at the airport.
Honestly, I think it's really unfair that she gets this angry black woman stigma. Throughout the show, we see Van is really smart. She's super intelligent, very independent. She tries so hard to put her family first and its well-being. She's not only driven, but she doesn't fail to seize opportunities that improve her currently unsatisfying life. Just because she seems to be the only one who's adulting correctly, she's treated poorly for it instead of praised for it.
I mean, you used to make fun of girls like you. You realize that, right? No, I'm serious, Van. You really need to think about your value.
So honestly, this clip makes me sick. Especially that Jade girl. She's like one of those welfare queens, like using
goodness.
men like the government to get rich.
Okay, well, I don't think that's exactly true. I think that the clip we just played is really important in that it shows how they are both assigning stereotypes to each other and seemingly legitimizing their respective stigmas. Van viewed Jade as the picture-perfect wag, which, for those of you who don't know, it is the wife and girlfriend of professional athletes. And Jade labels Van as the stereotypical uptight, mad black woman who has a kid and a no-good baby daddy. They both seem to think that their value comes from their situation, but neither of them believe that the other is living up to their value.
Well, you know what? I agree. This clip reminds us that neither woman represents her stigma accurately. They destabilize their stereotypes quite effectively despite some similarities. Yet, they are essentially prolonging the use of their stigmas in their argument.
So, do you ladies think that Glover is trying to destabilize or legitimize these female stereotypes? Because personally, I think he's trying to legitimize them. He's showing that even people who are affected by these stigmas use them on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I understand your question, because how could he destabilize something that's real? They're these real people, so you can't destabilize who they are.
Okay. Well, I don't think you can really say that because, like, for example, Jade, we only see her in that one episode. She really could be a wag. She probably isn't, you know. We can only take Van's word for that, so.
I guess.
Yeah, guys, honestly, I think that we get to learn a lot more about Van throughout these episodes, and I can say that she definitely seemed to be very independent.
Well, I don't think she totally legitimizes her stereotype, though.
By subtly incorporating these stereotypes in the show, I think Glover is really able to express that regardless of the stupidity of stereotypes, people are affected on a daily basis by expectations society places on them. Although this is happening in the television show, everyone can relate to the issues stereotypes cause, and can also be unknowingly affected by them, just as the characters in the show are.
Thank you, Tammy Moore, for coming in today.
Oh, wait, I just want to say, all lives matter, guys.
Is she even allowed to say that line?
Okay, can we cue that last clip real quick, Bob?
True.
The universe. Paternity test. Salutations. Hi, my name is Ahmad White. You may know me from your dreams. Call this number below and get the answers you deserve.
A special thanks to Just Acoustic and Jala Records for the music. To Journal of Psychology in Africa, in their article, Influences of Stereotype and Social Distance on Prejudice Towards African Americans. The New York Times, for their article, Review, in FX Atlanta, a Princeton dropout works the angles back home. To The Atlantic, for their article, Atlanta's Brilliant Reckoning with Money. And to The Washington Post, for their article, Donald Glover's Hypnotic Atlanta puts fresh eyes on a stereotyped world.